Hi, good morning, good evening. As per your time zone, I am Kumkum Sharma from Brit, and I'm back again on my live open session, episode 52. On the behalf of entire Brit team, I would like to welcome you here. And this time the format is little changed. Normally the agenda is always driven by our people. Whatever you want to ask, you can ask. But for this time, we have made little bit changes. So what are the changes? This session is dedicatedly for the coaching space. So, whatever questions you have related to coaching, understanding of coaching role, what are the role and responsibility, how coaches are helping this world, and what is the importance of the coach in the organization. You can ask any questions, and definitely we will discuss what are the right certification trainings if you want to become a coach or a life coach. So let me introduce my facilitator for this session, Miss Karen Borain. Thank you very much, Karen, for joining this session. And Karen, she doesn't need any introduction from me because Karen has a 35 years rich experience in learning and development sector, having worked in both corporate settings and the business owners. Additionally, she has 18 years rich experience as an executive and team coach. Karen has provided training, mentoring, an amount of coaches, leaders globally. She holds a professional coach certification with the International Coaching Federation and develop and facilitate accreditation of the professional coaching and leadership program. Karen has about the self improvement and development as well the assisting other in their growth of journey. Am I right, Karen? Is
Yeah.
this your profile?
Yep.
This amazing profile is yours.
It is. Passionately, enthusiastically, and happily, yes.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, when I was reading your profile, I was so amazed. 35 years of rich experience in coaching. So what is the motivation behind this, Karen?
So motivation is to live my personal purpose in life, which is to grow and develop others as well as myself, because that's one of the benefits of being a coach. It's not only about the people you're coaching. There's huge learning and growth benefits for you as a coach as well, which is amazing to have a mutual benefit.
Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. And today we have Seema with us also, and Seema will definitely help us to understand or answer other questions apart from the coaching space. But guys, one request. Okay, whatever coaching related you have, you can ask, and we'll finish the coaching related questions. Whatever questions I have, whatever questions Seema has, and whatever questions you'll ask. If there's some questions not related to coaching, if there will be a time in the end of the session, definitely I'll answer your questions. So but today's session is it's for coaching, just the understanding of the coaching space. So Karen, before starting this session, I have a very important question. Okay, what is the coaching and what is the importance of the coaching in today's world? Because why I'm emphasizing on the today's world, because after COVID there are lots of changes in the society. There are mental health, and some people wants to go back to work, some people are not going back to work. So there are lots of things. So in today's world, what is the importance of the coach in the organization?
What coaching does is it helps people to unlock their potential. And I think that many people have post COVID struggled to kind of get back into the environment, back engaged, having a clear focus of what they would like to achieve for the organization, but also for themselves. And coaching very much focuses either on the individual, if you're doing individual coaching, or on the team. And it's about helping those people to find their inner strength, find their inner potential, release that potential, and actually get to achieving it. So in today's world where we floundered over COVID, and it was tough for many people. For most people, it was tough because it was a sense of loss, whatever it might have been, maybe loss of career, loss of finances, loss of loved ones, whatever it might have been. coaching right now will really help people to find their inner strength, their inner motivation, and release that fabulous potential we all have within ourselves.
I really love this line.
Yeah.
Unlocking the potential.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, let's continue this chain. Let's not break the chain. Okay. So, you want me to ask my next question, or you want to continue this question?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
ask the next question.
Okay, so let me just include the Vishnu Priya's question. So she has wonderful questions. Okay, so Karen, you want me to read for you or you want to read by your own?
Yeah, I can see it. So the question is how to face resistance during coaching. And I think the biggest thing to do as a coach is to ensure that the person you are coaching understands the benefit to them. Coaching is about the client. It's all about them. It's not about the coach. And when we can ensure that people really genuinely understand the benefit to them as an individual, and they can see what they can get out of coaching, that is when you're going to overcome the resistance. And it does take time to build the trust. It takes time for them to have that experience of realizing that it is about them and that they can bring their learning into the conversations. For me, that's always been the biggest win. And so if you're in an organization and people are pushing back to coaching, it's about really, as a coach, ensuring they understand that personal benefit and where coaching can take them. And that's what the coach needs to do to build the trust with them as well.
Karen, twice in your statement, I heard the word trust. So seems like the building of trust is very important. I think the resistance came only when there is a trust issue between the coach and coachee.
Yeah.
So amazing, amazing. That I really liked. So Karen, seems like you're sharing something. Let me add. Sweet.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, Kunku mentioned that we're talking about coaching today and that we have this amazing program called the Professional Coaching and Leadership Program, because whilst many people want to be an executive coach or a team coach or formally a coach, and so I want to give you a capital letter and say you are a coach, it's also a wonderful leadership skill. So when we talk about the verb of coaching as leaders, many leaders come to learn how to be a great coach, because when leaders are a great coach, they then release the potential of their people in their team. So for some people in life, they might be both. They might be a leader in an organization and they might be a professional coach, or maybe they are choosing one or the other, but it has benefits for both. So we shouldn't reserve coaching just for the formal coaching conversations or series or whatever. Coaching is something that we can use every day. It's an everyday skill, which is really exciting. So if we look at the definition of coaching, if I can do that, can I move on to that, Kumkum? And this comes from the International Coaching Federation, which is a very large organization of coaches, a professional body of coaches. And they talk about coaching is partnering with clients. And it could be with individuals or with teams. And it could be with clients as in someone who's come for coaching, or it could be your team member, someone that reports to you. So coaching is partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. And I think going back to our original question around resistance, when your client understands that you're partnering with them to maximize their personal and professional potential, that's really, really important. Kunkum, do you have another question for me?
I think let's finish the slide. If you have more for our participants, our visitors, then I have another question from Vishnu Priya side. So we'll take that question later. I think let's finish the slides.
Okay, so not a lot of slides. It was just to give it a little bit of structure. So, yeah, I spoke about the International Coaching Federation, and there's these various bodies that you have of coaching. So the International Coaching Federation is based in America, but they are global. So they are very, very large. They have thousands of coaches that are members of that professional body. In Europe, you have the Mentoring and Coaching Council. In South Africa, where I'm based in Johannesburg, we have the Coaching and Mentoring Association of South Africa. So there are many professional bodies. And I think it's really important for coaching to be seen as a profession. That's why the professional bodies are so important. Otherwise, what can happen is that you can just have, people just running around doing coaching randomly, but the professional bodies turn it into a profession and give it the quality that one wants to have when you've put a lot of effort into learning to be a coach. And also the clients need to be able to trust what they're getting. So it becomes really important to ensure that we have that. So there's just some examples for you. And this particular program we're talking about is, and I myself am certified by the International Coaching Federation, the ICF. The reason I chose them is they are global, and that obviously had a huge advantage for me in my coaching career. They do have these different levels and of learning that you can do. And so they used to have, you can see in dark there at the bottom, the accredited coach specific training hours. And they have now changed that to rather talk about level 1 programs. And the level 1 program is a bit more encompassing than the original ACSTH programs were. And so what the ICF has said is that when you get accredited, it should be a holistic package of everything. Otherwise, it became a little bit bitty. You needed a bit of this and you needed a bit of that. Now they're making it holistic learning. And so when you do a level 1 program of learning in order to become a coach, you have everything you need in that package in order to be prepared for the very first level of accreditation as a coach, of a certification, apologies. And that is the Associate Certified Coach, which is a credential that the ICF offers. They offer 3 different levels, and it does depend on your experience as a coach, the amount of learning that you've had as a coach, and your ability as a coach. You just get the different levels of credentials. And the way that they measure this is it's measured against competencies. So there are 8 competencies. They're very detailed. They've got lots of information in them. But basically what they're saying is that there are some foundation competencies that an ICF coach must have. The first one, which I think again goes back to talking about trust and this resistance, is that ethical practice as a coach. We need to be so ethical. And the very first point of ethics as a coach is confidentiality. The client has got to feel free to share, knowing that that conversation is completely confidential. The second one is embodies a coaching mindset, which says, I need to think like a coach, because I'm not a consultant. I'm not a trainer. I'm not a mentor. I'm not a psychologist when I'm a coach. I'm a coach, and I need to keep that relationship very pure. So I need to have a mindset of a coach, and also you need to, as a coach, continue to learn. So as a coach, part of embodying a coaching mindset is that once you're certified, you have to continue to get hours every single 3 years in order to retain your certification. If you don't get the training hours, you lose your certification. Going back to trust, I know I'm working on that one a lot, but it's about co-creating the relationship. It is a relationship. It's a partnership between the coach and the client. And we have to make sure there's agreements between us on the way things will work. We have to cultivate that trust and safety. It needs to be a safe environment for the client and for the coach. And, it needs to be a feeling of safety to have these really deep conversations. And the coach has to always be there for the client, be fully there, can't be like slacking and looking out the window when we're coaching. We always have to be absolutely there in those sessions. As I go through these, I want you to think about how this would be as a leadership skill as well. If you're as a leader, establishing and maintaining agreements, cultivating trust and safety, maintaining presence, and then communicating effectively. Listening is a huge part of coaching and about the learning to be a coach. So we talk about listening actively to the client, not to ourselves. We need to be able to get people to those aha moments, those moments of, oh, wow, I never thought of that. Gee, that's a learning point. And that's what we mean about evoking awareness, helping them to see the patterns in their lives and where they get in their own way, which is wonderful to be able to release people to get to their full potential so that we can do the last one, which is facilitating their growth. So, if you just think about someone who's a sports coach, and, it doesn't matter if you've got the number one tennis player in the world, he's got a coach. And why? Because he wants to always be releasing more and more and more potential. And so coaching is for everyone. If you're at the top of your game, or if you're struggling to find the right game, coaching is for you as a client, because it's about getting to that full potential wherever you might be in your journey. So those are the 8 competencies that the ICF and any coaches that are linked to the ICF subscribe to. And so, if you're wanting to be a coach, or maybe you even are a coach already, but you need to get your 40 hours I spoke about, this is a program that you might want to consider. So Kumkum, anything, from here? Do you want me to just continue? You good?
I am amazed, and I think if any coach can follow these 8 competencies, so I'm sure the resistance problem they'll not face in
Yeah,
their career, and not even it's not about only the coach, like all the leaders. I think this program is not only for the people or for the so-called title of
yeah,
coaches. It's a leadership program. It's a leadership qualities. So I think this course, these competencies are really helpful for any leader.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And even when you're a parent as a leader, or a leader as a parent, whichever way around you want to see it. Okay. All right. So the learning that we offer, looks to these 8 competencies. Those 8 competencies are the basis of the learning program, so that you can really be prepared as a coach for a career in coaching. And really practical knowledge. Kumkum knows that I like things to be practical. You want to be able to learn now and go and use it. It's pointless learning something and then you can't actually use it. So and about looking at how do we just have better conversations. And the coaching community is wonderful. It's very, very strong, and it's a community of people who want to learn and grow, which is an amazing experience to be part of.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. So, Karen, would you like to go with the presentation first, or you want me to take the questions?
I think we're almost done. Okay, so what we really want from this program is that people understand coaching, but also how it fits into being a manager and a leader, and really have a set of skills to either coach professionally. So I have clients that come to me that would be going through 10 to 12 sessions or whatever the number might be, but also on the other side to just be able to, in the moment, someone's got a problem, and to be able to coach. And in organizations, and you heard Kumkum talk about earlier on, I have experience both in large corporates as well as working with smaller business owners. It's about having a culture. We talk about a coaching culture, which really is a culture of learning. And in today's organizations, we talk a lot about a learning organization, and a coaching culture is promoting a learning organization. So those are the only slides that I had, just to give it a bit of structure. Yeah.
Cool. That was good. And I think Priya really liked it. So, Vishnupriya, I'll share this presentation with you if you really liked it. So, let me take another question. What are all challenges you faced in coaching? So, what are the common challenges, Karen?
Mm. So I think that many people, if I look at it from the business side, many people coming into coaching who want to run their own business have to remember that if they want to run a business, they need to have a proper business plan. So any of you who want to go into coaching full time, just remember that you need to have a proper business plan. So that would be something, and maybe you need a coach who's going to help you put that together. Okay. The challenges I face in coaching. I think that very often in organizations, you get two extremes. You either get the coach who's going to always be given your high performers, which is fabulous, okay, because that is the easier people to coach. And then you get sometimes given the poor performer, where the manager thinks you're going to kind of take the poor performer and shine them up, fix them, and give them back. And of course, it doesn't work like that, because the manager could be part of the process as well. They have a part to play in the performance levels of that person. So I think one of the challenges that I would face is getting managers to understand that when I'm coaching someone, it doesn't take away their responsibility to continue to manage and lead, and that they're not necessarily going to get this person out the other side of coaching that they're looking for, because they're going to find that the person leaves the coaching relationship having learned and grown and come out the other side, unleashing their potential. So I think for me, that's probably the only challenge that I've really faced, with in an organization internally coaching, getting the managers to understand the role of coaching. And you really want to be coaching people who have got the potential to grow and learn. I think the other challenge that I've faced is when the client wants you to rescue them. So they want you to have the answers to their problems. We don't do that as a coach. And what we do is we help people to find their own answers to their own problems. And so I guess that's the other challenge that I have faced sometimes, where someone wants me to give them the magic wand that would fix their life, which obviously I'm not going to be able to do. And it's having to work with them to understand how coaching actually works. Their problem, their solution, but I'm here to help them find it.
Thank you, Karen. Karen, I mean, the question, your answers, gave me lots of questions. So
Okay.
these are the small questions. So, Karen, during your coaching journey, when you're, tie up with some organization, you're an internal coach or external coach. So, how you decide this thing? How many coaching a specific person required? And what are the points when you feel okay, they need more as compared to person B needs more sessions? How you decide things?
So when I was originally trained, I was trained that we do a 12-session coaching series. And you would run, most sessions are running about every 2 weeks. So 12 sessions, you're looking at about 6 months. I just found through my experience, and I've probably coached, I should have looked up the number, apologies, sort of well over 200 people. I've found in my experience that 12 sessions drags a little bit. And what I don't want to do is I don't want to lose the client's energy, enthusiasm, and drive to achieve. So in my experience, I choose to do 10 sessions with a client. However, I upfront at the beginning that if more are required, because they haven't quite achieved everything they want to achieve, that's okay. We would then add those sessions on. So I go with 10, but keep the door open to more. And if I find a client, who just has flown and just embraced coaching and wow, that after 8 sessions, they've achieved everything that I believe as a coach they can right now, I would suggest that we close off. But it doesn't mean that people can't come back. So even myself as a coach, I go through coaching every few years to keep myself focused, using that inner strength, unleashing potential. So clients will come back. Some clients like to move from sort of their 10 sessions every second week to maybe one a month or one every second month, just to keep them on track until they feel that the changes that they've made are sustainable. So 10 sessions with an open door. Maybe that's
Okay.
where I'll answer it. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, that's great. We have one more question from our LinkedIn user. I am little confused. I mean, whether the person is talking about the ICF ACC or ICP ACC, but okay, you can
Yeah.
take that question.
Yes. So the certification is there to ensure that the clients coming to you feel that they are going to achieve a certain level of competency, a certain level of professionalism. That's really where it comes in. And this was one of the research figures that I looked up. The ICF had done research, and they found that 85% of clients today, and this was from the 2022 Global Consumer Awareness Study, 85% of coaching clients say it's very important that their coach holds a certification, some kind of credential. And so to be a coach, if you are looking to be out in the market and clients are looking for some kind of certification, that's when it becomes really, really useful. So if your market that you're targeting is looking for that, then you do need to have that level of certification.
Perfect. Thanks, Karen. And I have Seema. Don't feel bad. I'll definitely give you opportunity to ask questions. So have patience. Let me just ask a couple of questions, more questions from Karen. So Karen, so let's more talk about the ICF and ICF ACC path. Okay. So what is this new ICF ACC path, and how this level one is different from the earlier one, the ACSTH path?
Yeah. So when you went through the ACSTH training, you then had to do additional requirements such as mentoring in order to be ready to do your ACC credentialing. And so the way that the ICF looked at it, they said it doesn't make sense to have people going through training and then they think they're finished, and then in actual fact they haven't finished. They need to then continue on, with additional learning. And so the level one is more encompassing. And so a level one certification program, certified program, then has got the mentoring as part of the learning program. It's got formal assessment as part of the learning program. So that has been the biggest change, is from these different components that your ACSTH would have had. They've pulled it all together and said, let's complete the package for a level one. And so you're getting many more hours of learning, mentoring, assessment than you would have had with an ACSTH.
Okay, so there is no changes in the competencies. It's all the same.
No, it's all the same. Now, the competencies changed in, I think it was 2018 or 2019, they changed the competencies. So that's quite recent that they changed them, and they stay the same, yes.
Yeah, correct. Earlier it was, I think, 11 competencies, and now we have 8 competencies, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, great. So, Karen, I mean, one more question. Okay, so who should consider pursuing this ICF ACC path?
Yeah. So I think if you want to become a coach, okay, so you want to have coaching as part of what you offer, whether you are internal in an organization and you decide that you want to offer coaching internally in the organization, or maybe you have your own business and you want to offer coaching as part of your portfolio of what you're offering, or maybe you're currently in an organization and you want to go for a new career, then this would be really great for you to have. And some people are full-time coaches. That is what they do. Other people like myself, I love the facilitating and the mentoring. And so the coaching is part of my portfolio of what I offer. So you would decide. But if you want to be a professional coach in any way, I would really recommend that you go for a proper learning. Make sure that you're credentialed. It gives you that backing, that professionalism.
Makes sense. Perfect. Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much for sharing this thing. And one last question I will ask, then I'll hand over to Seema. So, what are the benefits of this ICF ACC path for working professionals?
Yeah, so again, especially if you're in an organization, organizations will ensure that you do have the credentialing behind you. So if you want contracts with organizations as a coach, you're going to have the credentialing. If you're in an organization as well, very often they will want you to have that. So organizations want to have people that have a title of coach that are professionals. And therefore they would look for you to have that behind you.
Yeah, so I can understand that completely. And after, if you read the competencies, then I think it's very clear. If you are a ICF ACC person, the coach, then your approaches will be very different with your team.
Yeah.
So you build trust, you carry some empathy. So you can make the high performance teams more
Yes.
easily as compared to the people who are carrying that manager mindset.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, coaching is everyday skills. It shouldn't be
Yeah.
reserved. I think it's sad when people are coaches and they reserve their coaching skills just for those moments when they're coaching. Because if you bring them in, as you said, to every conversation as a leader, I mean, just to listen differently, to be present, to get people to learn and grow. Imagine, as you say, to have a high-performing team, and very often a high-performing team is defined as we support everybody's growth in the team. And so therefore you need this kind of skill as well.
True, true. And as compared to all other, certifications and training, where you will get the only, some 40,000 feet view of the, competencies or the learning objectives, this is a very deep ocean. You learn the competencies, and every day you're going deep down in the competencies and practicing and getting the feedbacks also. So of course,
Yes.
I mean, this learning path is a totally different from any other training and coaching. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. You've got
Great.
to be able
So
to use it now. If it's a now skill, then
yeah,
as you've been trained, you want to use it now.
true. Yeah. So Seema, over to you.
Karen, first of all, thank you. I attended your ACTS course, and daily I say thank you to you because I have essential resources to unlock my potential. So a big thank you to you, and whatever you have said about coaching, I am experiencing all those things. And so, what one thing I understood that any professional who is working with people and wants to get some performance the needs coaching skills. That's what I understood. So my question is that what kind of opportunities it opens up, means how it can enhance a professional career. It could be like team coach, executive coach, career coach, even for project managers, how it opens up opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, and I love that just, I mean, for me, so sometimes people will ask me a specific question about life coaching. And, I'm just like, I'm a coach. That's what I am. If you have got goals that really focus on improving personal areas. One could label that life coaching because it's very personally focused. If you've got goals that are very business orientated, maybe you're growing your business, one could call that business coaching. If I'm an executive and I'm being coached, it'd be executive coaching. But for all of those, it doesn't matter what focus the client has. What you're really doing is you are unleashing that potential. And then, as you mentioned, if you're working with a team, because very often when you're a project manager, you're working with a team. And what you're trying to do is in the shortest possible time, get the best results. So as a project manager, that's what we want. And we might have a random selection of people coming together. We need to get them to find a common purpose. We need to get them to work together as quick as possible. And whether you're coaching an individual or you're coaching a team, the point of coaching is to move people from point A, where they are now, to point B, where they want to be. And we stretch point B a little bit because as a coach, we don't want to just accept point B. We're going to probably stretch it to point C. Otherwise, they don't need a coach because they can get from A to B themselves. But you want to get them there as directly as possible. So even a project manager can eventually maybe get there. Okay, as individuals, we might eventually get there. But as a coach, that huge advantage is when I'm working with a team, maybe I'm a leader working with a team and I want to get results. It's about moving people from where they are now to a stretch goal, a stretch challenge in the shortest possible time.
That's powerful. Thank you,
Yeah.
Karen. And so there are many competencies in like 8 competencies in this certification, like listen actively and cultivating growth, breaking awareness and all. And so it helps in coaching career. My question is how it is different from other coaching certification like other governing body. There is a CTC certification which belongs to the certified team coach. It helps you to become a team coach. There are other certifications also. So how it is different from other governing body certifications?
Yeah. So it's very focused on those 8 competencies, very, very focused on those. And by the end of the learning, you've got to be able to deliver on those 8 competencies. And I'm an assessor. I'm a professional certified coach assessor as well for the ICF. And there's something like 85 markers that we look for when we are assessing someone at that level, which is your second level of certification. And it's so important that when you've gone through training, that you have learned really how to deliver on those 8 competencies and that you feel confident to use them, as we've spoken about already, in the moment. And not only in the moment of coaching, but in the moment of running a team meeting better, in the moment of having conversations in a much more fruitful, quality way. And so very practical, very understandable, and very, I want to use the word deliverable. In other words, I can use it and actually get results. So what you want to be able to see is, as you're using it, is it not just comfortable with you as the coach, but is the client benefiting? Are we seeing the client actually move, or the team move, or the team member move as well? Does that answer the question, Sina? Yeah.
I would like to take the opportunity here. Okay, so the people who are planning or preparing for CTC or CEC, which is from the Scrum Alliance. So let me share this information. The ICF 8 competencies are your prerequisite. So no matters whether you're taking exam or not, but you have to take the training at least on the same 8 competencies. So there is no, these two governing bodies are different. ICF is different and Scrum Alliance is different, but still they are dependent on the same competencies which we are reading and we are learning through our ICF journey.
Thanks, Kundan. Thanks for that.
Yeah. So seems like competencies are important in for any kind of coaching. So how these competencies can help a professional to be a better coach?
Yes, I think they are they guidelines of behavior. So how do I know when I'm a coach? Excuse me, I was going to have a cough. Apologies. because we do play different roles, and every day in our lives we're playing different roles. Sometimes we are called on to be the manager, to be tough and directive. Sometimes we're called on to be the trainer, where people are learning from us. But when I'm a coach, I need to keep it pure to be a coach. And so those competencies would guide me on when is my role a coach? And then when I am a coach, how am I expected to behave? Because when I'm a trainer, I'm telling people they're learning from me. I'm the expert in whatever topic it might be. But when I'm a coach, I'm allowing the person that I'm coaching to be the expert in their life. So it's such a different skill that those competencies just tell me, hey, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, if you go out of these, you're not in the role of a coach. You've gone into a different role. And it's really important for us as coaches to remember what our role is. So I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not there to deal with people's trauma, etc. And I need to know when to step back and be able to say, my competencies don't cover trauma counseling. That's not my role. And therefore I need to be able to step back. So they're a guideline for me as a coach. They keep me pure in my offering as a coach, and help me to know what I should be doing when I'm a coach versus when I'm playing other roles.
Great. So coaching is not a counseling. It is basically creating a new way of thinking. That's
Correct.
what understood. In the coaching creates a new way of thinking. So creating a new way of thinking is required in any team, in any organization where people are working. So this certification can be done by any CEO, HR managers, project managers, team coach, and anyone who wants to be life coach, executive coach,
Yeah.
career coach. So the next question, when I get this idea, the next question comes in my mind that what are the prerequisites and how many years of experience one should have?
The prerequisites, you know what? The biggest prerequisite is to believe in other people's growth. You've got to come in with a mindset that says, I really believe that everyone has got the potential to grow. And that for me is a prerequisite. As a trainer of coaches, I have probably the youngest person I ever trained to be a coach was in their early 20s, probably the oldest person in their 70s. And the prerequisite is to be passionate about learning and growth, and to honestly believe that people have got potential to grow and learn. That's what you have to believe. If you're going to be, come in, some people just know, never, it's going to cloud your judgment. So the biggest prerequisite is to really believe that everybody has a potential within their own context, with their own ability to grow and develop, and to be passionate about that.
Great. That's lovely. So, prerequisites that you should believe in coaching's potential and growth. Great. So, Karen, you are doing coaching. You're practicing coaching from so many years. You must be having success stories of clients which are impactful and could impact the client's growth.
Yeah.
So, would you like to share some?
Oh, yeah, they're just, and so I am blessed to be able to coach across the world, which is really exciting. I'm blessed to have traveled to various parts of the world to train coaches, and across levels as well. And I think that, before I answer that, I think that what I need to say is that coaching is universal. So I have been, I've trained people in America, I have trained people in India, in Australia, in New Zealand, trying to show you the whole world and all in between. And the learning that we cover is the same. And so there might be different contexts people are coaching in, but the learning we cover is the same. So the skill is transportable across different levels of people in organizations, across different cultures and and countries, etc. So I think that's really important. So my examples would, could be from whether it's in America through to New Zealand. So some specific, I remember coaching someone who was about to retire, a lady who was about to retire. She was a global customer service person, and she could not see anything that she could do in her retirement. It was like her world was just shutting down. And when she looked at the people around her and she saw the things they were doing, they were just so boring and ordinary. Now, here you have someone who's in a global role with a massive organization, and yet her thinking about retirement was so small. And through coaching, she actually became a property developer in her retirement. So from this little, I've got nothing to do to that kind of thing. Another person that I coached was in a large organization as a director, a C-suite, and just had gone to the organization with a proposal to say, look, I think that there's a huge market in this particular area. The organization was like, no, we're not really interested. So she pursued it, and today has got a global organization. I coached a local doctor, general practitioner in South Africa, who now works for United Nations. Looking after global health. So just a few examples of people. Yeah. I mean, sometimes often I'm just in awe of these people, absolutely in awe of them, that you can go from being a general practitioner to just working at the kind of global level. Absolutely amazing. Yeah. Wonderful. I mean, it's just so rewarding, so incredibly rewarding. And don't let me go on, Sima. I'll sit here giving examples all day. Okay.
Quite impactful, and I would like to add one success story. I am developing a great self-awareness, and I have learned to see my actions as is, not adding any judgments. So that's unlocking my potential. So that's, I can see the change. Thanks, Karen. And we are starting a new batch in April, around 29th of April. So I would like to discuss with you that what kind of support and resources a participant will get from this training and program.
Yeah. So there's the webinars. So there's live webinars. There's structured practice. So a live webinar, but structured practice and partnering that is given. There are both the PowerPoint kind of notes, your formal notes of the theory that is covered, but there's also exercises that are added that are additional to that. There is the facilitator as a mentor, assessor, and coach. And there's the Eisenbridge site where a lot of additional resources are added to. And then, of course, the biggest resource is the people on the program, to kind of learn how to practice with each other and get the experience with each other before you go out there and go out there and practice as a coach with clients. Yeah.
Great. So lot of assessments and lot of discussions and lot of practice and mostly lot of practice related to 8 competencies. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Great. So Kumkum, I guess we can now we can take other questions if we have, or we can also share the program details with the
Yeah,
participants.
sure. So the program details, we are starting this session. I think, let me just check the dates. From 26th, yeah, from the 26th of April, we are starting the new session with Karen. I've shared the link in the chat window. Okay, so you can check our webpage and there are more details. And anyways, me, Seema, we are available on LinkedIn, or drop us an email at sales@Eisenbridge. We'll definitely, whatever questions you have. And guys, I'm just motivating you for your coaching journey, because Bill Gates has coach. Tiger Woods has coach. So all these successful people, what is the sign behind the success is the successful coach. Okay, so be a successful coach and stand behind the successful person. So yeah, that's a secret of all successful people. They have the coach, they have the coaching skills with them. inside them or just around them. So yeah, uh, Karen, any last minute thoughts from your side for our visitors?
Yes, I mean, I just, there is so much enjoyment to come from coaching. And I know I've just finished doing some training with some people locally on a really simple coaching skill they can use as leaders. And, you know, the delight of people who start coaching and see the results from it. We know that when something good happens, we get dopamine in our body, the feel good hormone. It makes us feel good. And as a coach, when you see that aha moment from someone, when you see them getting out of their own way and just flying and unlocking their potential, it is so incredibly rewarding. But it's fun as well. You know, it really is fun. It's rewarding. And you just are growing and learning all the time as a coach, as you grow and learn with your clients. And I have met the most amazing people throughout my career as a coach, as I said, around the world. And it's just opened up so much fun, enjoyment. And to see the success of these people that are coached, and to enjoy the community of coaches has also been a wonderful experience. So, yeah, for me, it's just, I mean, I just want to say to all of you that if you enjoy seeing people learn and grow, then I would don't miss the opportunity to be a coach.
That's amazing, beautiful. So, guys, if you want to be a part of the coaching community, don't hesitate. You know, whatever questions you have, you can still connect me or Seema and drop us email. We'll definitely answer your questions and yeah, be a part of this community. And in the end, I just wanted to tell you if for our visitor additional information I would like to share. I know the people are so working for the safe, they are thinking about the safe 6. So Saket has wrote the amazing blog on safe 6. If you want to read, I'm just sharing the link in the window. And yeah, connect us back, and I'll be back again on the second Friday of April month. And yeah, you can connect me on LinkedIn, drop me emails. Yeah, and take care of yourself. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.